Bhavagya, Bhavarogagni, Bhavachakra, Pravartini. So Chandasara means Chandas. Chandas means meter, the study of poetic meter, an art of versification known as metrical science. Just that the study of that poetic meter itself is a science. Mundaka Upanishad says that Chandas is secular knowledge, which is Apara Vidya. Para knowledge is spiritual. Sara means substance or essence or marrow or heart or essential part of anything. This Sara. So Chandas Sara means she's the essence of that Chandas, the meter, the science of metering. So that's one interpretation. Rig Veda says all the sacred meters, the Trisubh, the Gayatri, and the remaining ones converge in the Lord of cosmic order. Chandas depends upon the letters in a word of a verse. Chandas also mean the Vedic hymns. The essence of or the essential parts of Vedas are Upanishads. This Nama says that she is well established in Upanishad. Gayatri Chandas is considered as the most important of all Chandas. Varivasya Rahisya, 14 Vidyas have been declared to be experienced in this world to understand her. Even among them, the most essential are the Vedas and therein Gayatri. She has two forms. One is recited in 4 Vedas, and other, Sri Vidya, is not clear, being esoteric. Therefore, it is apparent that Panchadashi mantra is superior than Gayatri mantra, is equivalent to 3 recitations of Gayatri mantra, which is the form of all the 4 Vedas. This interpretation is further confirmed by another tantric treatise, Pingala Tantra, which discusses Sri Chakra. So Chandas means sacred hymn or Vedic text or meters, science of meters. And Sara means crux or essence. Mata, who is the quintessence of all Vedic hymns and texts, can be the meaning of this Nama, Chandas Sara. Anything to add on to that, Shanti? Any comments?
I'm just a student. I'm listening. I'm writing notes.
No, I'm reading through this book that I'm also learning together. So the next Nama is Shastra Sara. So I think it is very direct from that previous Nama. Shastra means the scriptures, and she is the quintessence of scriptures. There we were talking about Chandas, here Shastra, and the next one we will talk about mantra. She who is the quintessence of all scriptures is what Shastra Sara means. Brahma Sutra says Shastra Yonivat, says that Brahman is the source of all scriptures. Vedas originated from Brahman. This is because Vedas have all good qualities and cannot possibly originate from any other source from the all-knowing Brahman. Yet another Nama that reconfirms her Brahmanic status. Shastra can be explained as an order, command, precept, rule, teaching, instruction, direction, advice, good counsel. It's also said to be any instrument of teaching, any manual or compendium of rules, or any book or treatise, especially any religious treatise, any sacred book or composition of divine authority applicable even to the Veda, said to be of 14 or even 18 kinds. That is Shastra Sara. Any comments?
No.
Okay.
I'm writing. So
I'll
interrupt. If I don't finish writing, then I'll ask you.
Okay. All right. I'll continue. Please feel free to interrupt,
Yeah.
Shanti.
Yeah. I will.
And the next nama is Mantra Sara. Mantra is the combination of bijas. Since she is Shabda Brahman and all the alphabets originate from her, this nama therefore says that she is the essence of all mantras. Even in previously we had listened to a mantra called Sarva Mantra Swarupini. Here it is another way of saying the same way. Mantra Sara. She who is the essence of all mantras. And mantra is said to be traditional formulae which consists precisely the fact that sages of the primeval past have handed it down. So there is a lot of it's like a formula how you would have to do it in a specific sequence of sounds, just like how if you change the order of a procedure, you not have the right results. Same way, you need to have that. It is the mantras are power of the mantras are fructified by following precisely the way they were recited by the sages of our past. In Rig Veda alone, there are 21 references to mantra. Mantras have the power, and the source of that power is the truth and order that stands at the very center of this Vedic universe. The pure power encapsulated in a mantra and released upon its utterance can work for or against whoever uses it. Should the user or beneficiary of mantra speak out of spite, malice, or ignorance, the power unleashed by that can even be harmful. It is a tool of human intentionality and said to be protean. Mantra, though, is vital in the hands of humanity, it's also equally a troubling feature. Just like how any procedure, any science can be used for good and bad, I guess mantras are also tools which can do good and also bad. But,
Is it for others or is it for that person?
What is it, Shanti?
Is it for the person who is reciting or is the person for somebody else?
Yeah, I think it is for the person too. If you don't say it properly or with the right pronunciation, it can also be detrimental for that person. And for, I guess, the mantra for the people who are listening to it are also. And but then, there are so many tantric mantras which can do evil. I think we are not talking about that. In general, any mantra, in general, any mantra which is used for tantras or whatever can be powerful, have a lot of power, and they can also be destructive. So I guess the importance that they are trying to convey is you need to properly get initiated on a mantra, and it has to be practiced with when you have an initiator, that person probably would make sure he's teaching you the right pronunciation, and it also needs to be practiced because they are very powerful. Because why? All mantras, real mantras, the Vedic mantras, Mata is the source of them. So they have her power in it.
So, even Lalitha Sahasranama, you just listen, and I've been saying all these, slokas, listening to YouTubes and everything. That's all. Or, just because it's in Hindi.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't say it properly. What happened? That's what.
Yeah, I think it is. The Mata's grace will, if you do it with bhakti, with shraddha, with your best efforts, I think her grace, with her, she is ever compassionate, right? But they are powerful, and if you want to realize the full power, right, you have to pronounce those words very carefully, And listen. That's why I guess listening to a guru who's very well versed, listening to a good version, all that is helpful if you are interested in, if you are really chanting it regularly at home. There are like a good Sanskrit channel I can send you.
Because I tell every day, Lalitha sir.
Yeah, I think you are very good at it, because I think it has come from for a long time from family or wherever you learnt it from. Should have been a good
No,
source.
I didn't. No, unfortunately, my parents used to say that, but I never learned from them.
Okay.
After they passed away, I automatically got into it.
I see. But I think, there is always a way to.
So I just took, gave me the book, read it. So I just started. That's all. Just started after my father's death.
But I think, it's good that you started, automatically. If there is any mistakes in this, that's the power of these Lalitha Sahasranama. Any good practice, you will be shown the right way. You will find a person who will correct it. If you're making mistakes, it is bound to happen. If you're doing it with full bhakti. Yeah.
Okay.
And in one form or the other, you will find
a lot of slokas. I say a lot of slokas. I say a lot of slokas, but I just read it. That's all I do it.
Yeah.
Now that bothers me, I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's good to always have several references, and I will send you a very good Sanskrit channel that he helps pronunciation of every letter and where to put emphasis, like alpa pranas, on what are different words have to be mahaprana, wherever you have to put stress depending upon which ba, which dha. All that those type of things are he emphasizes.
I have seen, at least in a movie, remember in the Shankaracharya movie, where Shankaracharya, actually Adi Shankaracharya, when he meets a person in Kashi, to pronounce properly, he's spending time on the verb and all that. See, then he said, don't worry about it. Don't put your life on it. Just say it or something, he says to that. He says, don't spend your whole life in saying, that was the idea. What this person was very, strict about saying things properly. Yeah. And he said, don't spend your time like that, your life. And he gives some, some analogy, you should not do it. So I thought it is not that important as long as you say with bhakti. That's what I think Shankaracharya.
Yeah, and that's the origin of that Bhajagovindam, right? Bhajagovindam, Govindam, Bhajamudam.
Exactly.
Samprapte Sanhite Kale. Nahi. He says that grammar is not important.
Yeah.
And I think, Shankaracharya also, after going through all the whole cycle towards the last few days of his, journey, he says, everything, bhakti is important, and naturally jnana follows. Bhakti is that's why I'm telling you, right? And it's important to pronounce this properly, right? If you are just when you're doing these mantras, if you twist it, you can even scold the god, right? It can. Yeah, correct. Yeah. So but you are thinking you're praising the god, but you might be saying something wrong. Yeah. But I'm saying what I'm saying, if you are saying something wrong and if you're doing it with bhakti, you will find a guru or somebody will come and correct you. That is there. Before harm happens. Even if you're not listening to that person who's correcting you, that's when things will again, right? Everybody is not privileged to have a guru or to have this education system. So I think it's only natural that Mata, the compassionate Mata, will forgive you for all those, and to increase the efficiency. And it's important, any of us know, right? And you're a scientist too. A proper procedure is important for us to get the full benefit of the mantra. If you're not interested in the benefit of the mantra, that's another story. But if you are going to, then you have to make sure you are going to pronounce it properly. Yeah. And that's what I think here they are referring to. It is powerful. It can be detrimental, because if you are creating a negative energy by these sounds, and it can affect you over course of time. But yeah, always this is a good opportunity for you to learn, if with this ever be in the lookout for, and that is what, even whenever we have been discussing, right, we double check, are we pronouncing it properly by word all these weeks, in terms of the how do we say it. That's why we are even splitting the words and looking at it in different angles to make sure we are pronouncing it properly. So Chandasara, Shastrasara, and Mantrasara, these are all, we directly know where they are originating from. So our pronunciation shouldn't go wrong, because we know the words where they are coming from. That is one way. The next nama is Talodari. Talin means slender. If you remember previously, Talin Madhya, Talin. We have one more sloka where we talk about Talin, about her waist.
In the beginning.
Slender waist. Yeah. Her midsection is Mata's. It's like a creeper, like that we described, right, in the beginning. So, so same, that is what is again coming here after this nama, Talin. Talodari means one who is slender waisted, or Talin means slender. Uddhana means waist. Talinodari means a slender waisted woman, it seems. Talinodari. So that is what is being referred here. Talodari. Talodari. Not the dha, but dari. Talodari. Normal dari. She has slender waisted. When she assumes Virat form, so I guess there are not much explanation on this. Basically, Mata who is slender waisted is what I have it in another book. There is another interpretation. If is added to this nama, it becomes Athalodari. When she assumes Virat form, Virat Rupam, her waist becomes Athala Loka. One of the 14 lokas, Athala Loka is 8th. So even though she's slender waisted, but if she gets Virata form, she becomes Athola. That is what they are saying. But I don't know what is any other significance of this.
So Virata form means she occupies 8 lokas? Is that what?
Yeah. She occupies Virata form in the sense she becomes she's occupying all the lokas, and all the lokas are in her, and we with our eyes we will not be able to imagine that dimension that she forms, but at least in space, whatever is defined as space, how many ever lokas there are, she occupies them, and there are 14 lokas, it seems. Even though she is Thalodari, but when she takes that Virat Rupam, becomes Athalodari is what it says. But I guess here,
8 lokas or 14 lokas?
14 lokas. I think there are different books say different number of lokas. I don't know. Yeah. Why I have heard more than 8 lokas. Yeah, I guess here it talks about 14 lokas. Yeah. I don't know if you have. I'm trying to find the. We know the typical lokas. Shiva Lokam, and there are different lokas, and here they're talking about Artha Loka. Yeah, and yeah. Okay. But yeah, Talodari has, I'm not finding any other significance of Talodari. If you find any other references why her slender waist, what's the other hidden meaning for this nama, I'm not able to find. It's just simply plainly means she who has slender waist. So let me check one more book. Yeah. So the next nama is Udhara Kirti, whose glory is magnanimous. Udhara means Udar means generous, liberal.
Yeah, liberal. Yeah.
Liberal, Udar.
Yeah, Udhar.
Kirti, fame or credit.
Yeah.
Is Udar Kirti. So I think they are referring to Kirti being limitless. It's just there is no limit to it. It is very generous. It's very liberal.
Limitless, yeah.
Limitless Kirti, fame. Talodari, Udhara Kirti. Okay. The next nama, her invigorated fame prevails everywhere. She also gives fame to her devotees. She grants fame quickly if properly worshipped without any ego. In Chandogya Upanishad, he is called Ud because he is above all weakness. Ud is a prefix to indicate superiority. All pervading means means all pervading. Ara means swift. Udhara means all pervading. Kirti, she's beyond that. There are
R means all pervading, or A means all pervading?
A means all pervading.
R means?
Ara means fame. Ara means not fame. Ara means swift.
Swift, okay.
Swift. So Ara means swift. Yeah. So that's the. In some Udhara, and then there are two famous lakes in Brahmaloka, it seems, Ara and Nya. This is described in Chandogya Upanishad.
Chandogya Upanishad is the smallest one, right?
Chandogya? No, Chandogya is. It's not. I think
one Upanishad is supposed to be the shortest of all the things, but which is the powerful, which is the most powerful.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Chandogya. I think Mundaka Upanishad is also small, which talks about the power of Om, and which is a very small Upanishad, but I don't know if it is the shortest. I don't know which is the shortest.
Yeah, something. Maybe something. They said if there's one Vivekananda has established a Hindu this thing in New York.
It's the Vedanta Society.
Vedanta Society. And there's a
Yeah.
person who charged there.
Yeah, Sarva Priyananda.
Sarvapriyananda, exactly.
Uh-huh.
He talks of one Upanishad, which he always keeps on saying that that's the shortest one. And if you understand that, you don't need to read any other Veda. That's it.
Yeah.
If you understand every word of it, I mean, provided.
Yeah.
So he always
Right.
writes from there, actually, from that.
Yes, and that is the one, Mandukya Upanishad.
Oh, Mandukya Upanishad. Okay.
Yeah. It contains only 12 mantras.
Yeah, exactly. He says it's so powerful that, I mean,
Uh-huh.
it has all the meanings. I mean, if you understand, if you are able to understand, that's all you need in your life.
Yeah. And I think he gives a talk about Mandukya Upanishad in IIT Kharagpur.
Yeah. He has given a lot of things, actually.
Yeah. And the place I am right now, that is Vedanta Society. He used to 10 minutes from my house.
Oh, in California? In California?
Yeah. And he was there. He started his work there.
Who? I mean, this person,
Sarva Priyananda.
Oh.
He worked and he was transferred to New York because apparently a lot more intellectuals are there in New York asking a lot of questions, it seems. And he is the right person to engage them, and he's being kept busy on a weekly basis. They have talks. If you go, I can send you the link. The talks are all recorded in Zoom. You can. Vedanta Society, Vedanta.org or Vedanta Society. It has links to every society and their talks. They have a Zoom call. And I go every Saturday here. There are around like 20-25 people attend.
Yeah. He's very, very, very knowledgeable, very, I mean, engaging.
Yeah.
Listen to him for a long time.
Yeah. So it was one of the Upanishad that Shankaracharya's guru itself, gave commentary upon.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's in that Mandukya Upanishad.
Mandukya Upanishad, correct.
And there is another Upanishad which is Mundaka Upanishad. And I think that talks about Om. But Mandukya Upanishad has all the important the state Mahavakyas. I think it has, and I can double check.
They're all in Sanskrit, right?
Yeah, they are all in Sanskrit. But the reason we all know about this Upanishad, these are all highlighted by Adi Shankaracharya. There are like 108, out of which only 18 or even in that 18, only 10, 18 of them I think he wrote. He wrote the explanations. So they are called Maha Upanishads. And there are even several Upanishads out there. Some of them we have lost it. But in these 10, the meanings have been elaborately given. Even though it's in Sanskrit, there is a lot more explanations given by Adi Shankaracharya.
For the 18 ones.
Yeah, for the 18 ones. Yeah.
Out of 108. Okay.
Yeah. And Mundaka means head, right? And it is like a head of all the Upanishads.
Oh, head. Okay.
And and Mandukya is important. Mandukya is important, but I for that talk he really raves about that Upanishad. Yeah.
Okay. So it's like Gita, he picked up out of thousands, he picked up something, the important.
Yeah. And maybe I'll share the link with you.
Yeah.
After this call.
Yeah. And also that Sanskrit sloka, the pronunciation.
Yeah. I had. I'll share that too. So where did I leave? Udara Kirti. Dhama Vaibhava. So in Udara Kirti itself, I was talking about Chandogya Upanishad. there is Ara and Nya in Brahmaloka.
Okay.
So what about them? They are this Nama is considered to be related to those two. That is, a few people think. So that is one reference. And then, what about those two lakes? When they attain Brahmaloka, this should not be construed as material plane. This is the place of no return for the soul. The soul attains liberation. So, like earlier we said, right? When you have a lot of punyam or a lot of things that you have carried with your activities, it's not necessarily you will not return back. You will go to these lokas, higher lokas, but still there is a chance that you will come back. You will fall from grace. Right? We had talked about it before.
Yeah.
So even though these lokas are like that, but there are two lakes, Ara and Nya. From if you go there, if you attain that, it means you will also get mukti. It seems okay. This is some kind of folk tale.
Oh, no, what this, I mean, what I've heard is you should not have too much goodness and too much, but you have to be neutral. I mean, that's what you have that what is it? Nirmala,
Nirguna, or like, yeah.
There's no bad, there's no good. You have to come to that state that, there's nothing
called
Nishkamya. All stuff is we have to be in that state. That means there's nothing good, there's nothing bad. Only when you are in the neutral stage, where you attain that plus and minus, all balances off, that's the only time you'll get mukti.
Yeah. So that is what Nishkama Karma. Nirvana. Okay. But how do you do that? How do you get that? Is you have to do Nishkama Karma, which means selfless or desire less action.
Yeah,
desire without any expectation.
Yeah, without any
expectation. If you think you're doing good, but you think, oh, I'm doing good, good things are going to happen to me, then you are going to accumulate that good karma, and same way the otherwise, if you do bad karma anyway, you'll get accumulate. But even doing good karma with some expectation or seeking reward or acknowledgement, then it's not nishkama karma, and you will get acknowledgement, but that further binds you more and more. Yeah. So a couple more namas. I know it's 8-3, but I'll quickly finish this sloka. Uddhama Vaibhava. What is that? Vaibhava means greatness. Uddhama, same way like other. Uddhara. Uddhama means unlimited. Uddhama means unlimited. Our glorification is not bound by limits. Dhama means rope. Dhama. Dhama means rope. It's not the but it is the Dhama. Dhama means rope. Uddh, even in the previous nama, it's Udara. Here we have Uddhama. And I think I see Uddhama, and that Dhama, sorry, I mispronounced. Like the Dhama is that Mahaprana Dha. Yeah. Like Udd is not that sound, but Dhama has that sound. Like Vaibhava. That Bha is.
Bha. It's a Dha.
Yeah, it's the fourth Bha. Like Vaibhava, that Bha, Dhama. Dhama means rope, which binds materials. That rope is called Dhama. Her glory is beyond such bindings, is what this nama says. Uddhama Vaibhava. So anything. I mean, it's basically whose grandeur is immense without limits, limitless. Very, very much like the previous nama, Udara Kirti or Uddhama Vaibhava.
So Uddha means what?
Ud, when you add ud means to anything, if you add the prefix ud, means superiority.
Oh, superiority.
Ud is a prefix to indicate superiority. Utkala. Utkala. Utkala, maybe that's a different ud, I think. Yeah, this is a different. Udhara Kirti, Uddhama Vaibhava.
Yeah.
The next nama, which is the last one in this sloka, is Varna Rupini. Here, Varna means vowel, the sound or syllable. That is what Varna means here.
Oh.
Rupini means she's the form. So she's the form of sound, syllables, the vowels is what this nama means. According to Shambhava school, which is there is a treatise on correct pronunciation of words in Vedas. The number of alphabets is 64. She is said to be in the form of 64 alphabets here. So says that any mantra without proper pronunciation does not convey the intended meaning. So it's important to the same thing, whatever we talked before. So because she is the form of those syllables, you have to use her syllables, her sounds properly, and because she is the form of those letters. Even before we talked about another nama, Matrika Varna Rupini, right? Even there, Matrika Varna is the vowels, and here all vowels are her. She's the rupam of that. So they're emphasizing the how she's the essence of all sounds.
64 alphabets includes vowels also. I mean, all the alphabet includes vowels. It's just not vowels.
It's not just vowels. It includes all alphabets in Sanskrit.
Okay.
Yeah. And there is last week we talked about 51 alphabets in another context. So, but then if you add all the fine sounds, it becomes 64. So like consonants, vowels, and there are all possible sounds that are, if you put them as alphabets, there are 64.
Well, then it becomes 64. Okay.
And that is what they are talking about here. She's in the form of letters, and there are 64 alphabets here. With that, go back to the sloka. Chandasara, Shastrasara, Mantrasara, Talodari, Udara Kirtir, Uddhama Vaibhava, Varna Rupini. So if you just pronounce it with her namas, we can stop here and we can continue next week.
Next week. Yeah.
Thank you, Shanti.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. It was really very nice.
Yeah. I also learned a lot today. Thank you.
Yeah.
Please see you next week. Yeah. I'll send you after this call. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you, Butterji.